Hello, my Italian food fanatics. Today, we're going to make a very creamy and luscious scrambled eggs, and we're going to put them on ciabatta bread. The ciabatta I've bought, you can do that too. We're going to use mascarpone cheese. We're going to use a little bit of Parmesan, and we're going to use a secret ingredient. It's going to be 3 eggs scrambled. And I'm going to show you how to scramble them in such a way to ensure that they don't dry out, that they remain absolutely creamy. And it is an amalgamation of something I learned from Gordon Ramsay, and also, again, that secret ingredient, which I'm going to reveal to you in just a little while. So, if you haven't done so yet, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, hit the bell button, share, tell your friends, leave a comment below, especially when you see what the secret ingredient is. Tell me if you think it's going to work or not. So, without any further ado, let's get in there and get to the scrambled eggs. See you in the kitchen. All right, let's get started. For our Parmesan and mascarpone scramble, we're going to need a little bit of butter. We're going to need, of course, Parmesan, some mascarpone. We're going to need our eggs and some basil and chives. Now let me prep all of this stuff, and I will be right back. And we're going to use a very secret ingredient, which I will reveal to you in just a moment. All right, here we have our chives, we have our basil, we cubed up the butter. There's our Parmesan that's been shredded, mascarpone, our eggs. I also have a ciabatta roll that we're going to use to put the eggs on, and we'll start by cutting this in half and actually toasting it so that it will be ready. We're going to go on the stove in just a second, so bear with me. We'll be right back. All right, let's start by just cutting this ciabatta roll in half. And it doesn't get more simple than that. And we'll just put this under the broiler and toast it, get it nice and warm. We'll be back with the eggs in 1 second. All right, we're back with our eggs. As you know, the color of the shell is indicative of the breed of the chicken, not quality. And these are free-range organic eggs, so they are the highest quality. But white or brown or speckled means just a different breed of chicken. The yolks, though, tell us a different story. The yolks tell us the story of what feed the chickens were given. So they can go from really light yellow to a deep orange, and it's all dependent on what food they were fed. So what I like to do is I like to crack the eggs into a small bowl first, then add them into the bigger bowl. That way, if there's any issues with any egg, it will not taint the larger bowl of eggs. And also, if there's any shells or anything like that in this smaller bowl, it's easier to get the shells out of here than it will be to get them out of there. So there's our second egg. We're going to use 3 today, and these are just regular large eggs. Nothing, not extra large or anything like that. Now look, we have an anomaly. What is that? I don't know what that is, but I don't like what I see. So I'm going to trade out another egg and come back. All right, I eliminated the other egg, and now we'll try a fourth one to make our threesome. And this is good as well. So they're going to go into the bowl, and then now we're going to mix them up well. More on that in just 1 second. All right, we have our eggs here, and what we're going to do is give them a good mix. You want to really beat the living daylights out of the eggs because you don't want long strands of egg white. We want small curds, and we want them to be very, very fluffy. Now, I don't add salt to these eggs because salt makes the protein strands shrink more and thus squeeze out all of the moisture, making the eggs dry in the long run. We are going to add Parmesan cheese, mascarpone, and there is going to be some salt in there. If necessary, we'll add salt a little bit later. So now that our eggs are very, very well mixed up, we're going to add in our pieces of cold butter. And we will also add in our secret ingredient coming in just 2 seconds. All right, now here comes the secret ingredient. It's seltzer water. For every 2 eggs, we need about 1 tablespoonful. So we're going to use about 1.5 tablespoons because we're using 3 eggs. What this does is the bubbles inside of the seltzer water, they heat up and they create a more fluffy egg when it's scrambled, that is. So we'll get on the stove right about now before those bubbles dissipate. All right, here we are at the stove. I have a 10-inch pan that is non-stick, and we're going to use a spatula along with our eggs. They're going to go in there, and everything starts out cold. And we begin stirring them around like this. All right? And we want to do this continually, and we can go on and off the heat as the eggs start to coagulate to control the amount of heat that goes into the eggs, and to also ensure that they slowly scramble with the smallest amount of curds. All right, there should be no browning or anything like that. In fact, now I have the heat on a little bit too high. I've turned it to a medium because I already see the coagulation beginning to start, and we want to do this very, very slowly. So I'm going to probably fast forward this, and I'll continue filming until we get to the point where we need to talk a little bit more. All right? Now you see they begin to coagulate, and so consequently I'm going to come on and off of the flame. I'm just lifting it up here so that you can see a little bit easier, but normally I would just go off of the flame like this. All right, it's still a very, very relatively low flame, but it's now slowly starting to come together. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the mascarpone to actually stop the cooking process or arrest it here at the end to ensure that we have creamy eggs. Because the mascarpone is cold, it will arrest the cooking process almost instantly. All right, it's kind of like holding back a portion of the scrambled eggs in order to stop them from cooking as well. All right, so but we're not there just yet. Okay, let's add in our mascarpone. We're not going to add in too much. That's enough. And that will immediately arrest the cooking. We've turned the heat off, and we'll just mix this into the eggs. That's going to make them even more creamy. I mean, look how creamy they are to begin with. That's going to make them more creamy and absolutely delicious. So let's mix that in, and then we'll add in a little bit of Parmesan, and I'm going to add in some basil as well. So that gets mixed in. Perfect. All right. Now we'll add some Parmesan, and that should be enough theoretically for the cheese. We'll add in our basil. Maybe not as much as I already have. That's about enough. Just a couple of leaves full. Excellent. And now, let's go dish it up. All right, my Italian food fanatics, you saw me dish it up. You saw me make it, you saw it all. And now it's time to taste those mascarpone and parmesan scrambled eggs. So let's see if they're as creamy and delicious as I think they are. Oh my goodness. Please stop right now. You got to go out and get everything that you need to get to make these eggs. They're creamy. They're delicious. They melt in your mouth. They don't need any salt. The pepper's perfect. You have the herbaceousness from the basil and a little bit of the chives, that onion that comes through that tastes great with eggs. The butteriness. Oh, wow. And now I'll take a little bit of I love ciabatta bread. In fact, one of these days I'm going to show you how to make it. But in the event that you don't want to make your own, you can always go out and buy some. But this is out of this world. Oh, good. Oh, good, good. So, if you like what you see, and let me tell you, if you were here, I would share this with you. If you like what you see, hit the thumbs up with the like button, subscribe, ring the bell, share with your friends, and leave a comment below. These are just perfectly cooked. I mean, you talk about on the weekends for having a breakfast that's really, really quick and easy to do. Just heavenly. So, I'm going to finish eating this. Please, thanks very much for your patronage, for your subscriptions, for your eyeballs, for watching. I appreciate it. Have a great day no matter where you are. Thank you. Oh, this is good stuff.